Rob Van Dam, listen to True Hill Heat. Pow.
What's up, True Hill Heat?
True Hill Heat.
What's up? True Hill Heat.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Hill Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Rated Raw Review, episode 25, Actions Have Consequences, reviewing the July 8th, 2024 Money in the Bank Fallout episode of WWE Monday Night Raw as only we can. And he is back after a 2-week absence, not being here. He's always taking, vacations and sabbaticals. He takes more sabbaticals than who takes a lot of sabbaticals than Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns combined. He is the president of the Liv Morgan fan club, the president of the Charlotte Flair fan club, the president of the Ariana Grace fan club, the president of Everybody is His Favorite Wrestler fan club, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon.
So many mistakes in that intro, but you said a lot of good stuff in there as well. But so we'll let most of it slide. What is up, SP3? What's up, everybody in the chat? What's up to all my fellow members of the Liv Morgan fan club? Alert, alert, mommy's back. Alert, alert, mommy's back. Let's look out for that. But yeah, what an eventful 3 days for WWE, huh? Money in the Bank, NXT Heatwave, which I haven't finished watching. I've watched the first 2 matches. I liked what I saw so far, but it's the 7th highest WWE show pay-per-view in cage match history. What? Is it that good? I just started the tag team match. My God.
The tag team match is the best match on the show and the best match of the weekend for WWE. So you still haven't watched the best stuff. I thought the opener was good, but Obafemi kind of got gassed at the end there. It was his first time kind of going, in a lengthy singles match like that. The second match, It took a lot out of me in the first opening minute when they did the Ricochet Ospreay opening sequence, but it wasn't as, as fluid and as wrestling based. It was more gymnastic based, but they killed it the last half of the matchup with Sol Ruka and Kalani Jordan. But the takeover
Did you mention
vibes,
I'm in that fan club too, Sol Ruka? I forgot. You mentioned so much. I don't remember. But yes, I am president of that as well.
you cannot be president of everybody's fan club.
Yeah, not everybody. I'm just a select few.
That's literally 4 people. That's ridiculous. That's like having, I have this team and that team and any other sports. Whenever somebody tells me they have multiple teams that they root for, I'm just like, then you have no teams.
No, I'll tell you, man. Sol Ruka, man, it's gonna be good. Gonna be good. Just gotta get her talk a little bit, but in ring she's gonna be good.
Both ladies, showed out. That was probably one of their, if not their best, but one of their best matches. And it was two developmental talents going out there. But both of them need characters, Kalani Jordan and Sol Ruka.
Yes.
You just work on their promo skills and their characters. They got a long way to go. But
I like what Ariana Grace has.
Exactly. I like Sol Ruka being a female RVD. I wish they would go all the way with it and just give her, a pot addiction. Just go all the way.
What's funny is that Kaylani loves RVD too.
God. Yeah, she does a split-legged moonsault as her finisher. But we're not here to talk about NXT Heatwave. Check out our shorts. Chris G did a great review on NXT Heatwave in our short section, so you can go over and check that out. He also did one on AEW Collision as well as last night's Monday Night Raw. So always check out our source section. If you don't see a live stream here, we probably posted up a short for you. It's a short, compact version of whatever review that he breaks down. But we are here to discuss the July 8th, 2024 edition of Monday Night Raw, and it was a noteworthy one coming off the heels of Money in the Bank on Saturday, as well as, coming up is the start of the build for SummerSlam 2024. You talked a little bit about NXT Heatwave. Do you have any, fallout thoughts on Money in the Bank on Saturday?
I enjoyed it. Newsworthy show. I thought the women's match is whoa. I was not expecting that. They went to war. They were putting their bodies on the line. I think it's the best women's Money in the Bank ladder match I can remember seeing. The men's cash-in was very newsworthy. I thought it was great. I thought it was fitting. I don't have a problem with this. You wasted the briefcase in one night. Remember, folks, Priest was carrying that thing around forever. He just cashed in a few months ago. It's fine. We don't have no men's Money in the Bank to go for the whole year. Let the woman hold on to it for a little bit. They never get to hold on to their briefcase ever. Let Tiffany Stratton hold on to it, and it'll elevate her. But I thought the main event was whatever. Felt like a TV match, honestly, with the ending. But I still had a good time the whole show.
Yeah, it was a good show. I gave it an 8 out of 10 on our review. Check out me and Josh breaking down everything that went down at Money in the Bank, including John Cena announcement of his retirement. So
that's funny. That's funny, folks. I'm retiring, just not yet. I'm going to do a whole year first.
He's like, folks, I'm here to announce my retirement from WWE in 18 months.
Funny.
I was like, Cena's the only one that can get away with that.
But I am looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Anything he does will be very interesting, especially his last match and how they handle that. I think just go ahead and do it. John Cena, WrestleMania, Gunther, the world champion, do that match and true John Cena style and fashion, putting away the foreign heel. Well, for one more time.
I've said this now on a couple of platforms. You can go to Sportskeeda by WrestleBridge. Me, Dutch, and Rick talked about Money in the Bank over there, and I said it there. I said it on our Money in the Bank review. When Jimmy was the first person who told me that, he was like, because I was like, all right, Braun Breaker, it should be him, or if they want nostalgia, they should go with Randy Orton. But the time that it's going to matter the most for Cena to go for number 17 is at his final WrestleMania. Like you did number 16 at a Royal Rumble. Yeah, he can go for 17 at like your SummerSlam or any of these B pay-per-views, but it's going to matter the most at WrestleMania. And the person that I think can give him his best matchup of his whole retirement tour is Gunther, who would be the world heavyweight champion. So it makes all the sense in the world.
With his
I'm
style.
gun-ho for it.
It worked perfectly with John Cena's style of wrestling. Yeah, Randy Orton, you could do that. Just do it when they're in the chamber. Just put them all in the chamber together. You know, have the old guys in the chamber. Have put Punk in there too. Do all that. And yeah, I'd love to see Braun too. That'd be a nice little passing of the torch as well. But we'll see.
Yeah, I said Punk, if he's gonna do Punk again, make Money in the Bank next year in Chicago and do it there. 1-on-1, back at Money in the Bank, and 14 years later at Money in the Bank in Chicago, Cena Punk one more time.
But when is his last thing? Isn't it Mania's last thing?
No, his last thing is December 2025.
So he's not even
He said
ending
he's
with
going.
Mania?
No, he's going from January to December. He said that during the post show. I was like, so you made this whole big speech, and it made it sound like WrestleMania was going to be the final one. But if you go back and listen to the speech, he says WrestleMania will be the last Mania I compete in. He never said that would be his last match.
Okay, that's going to be hard to top, buddy. Just so you know, it's only downhill from there.
We got a lot of people in the chat. You know the deal. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. We appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We've had a crazy amount of content the last 2 weeks between Forbidden Door week last week. We had Money in the Bank this past week that just finished off with previews and reviews for the Money in the Bank premium live event. We had the huge live interview with Donovan Dijak yesterday, so go over and check that out if you haven't already. Some really good stuff with Dijak talking about his WWE departure, talking about the matches that he wants to have, the people that he wants to work with now that he's out of WWE. We talked about Retribution a bit as well as his final run in NXT and who came up with the character that he did in NXT. That was some really good stuff. And his personal favorite match, which was a question by Chase as well as Romeo. What is his personal favorite match? And he gave us like plenty to talk about there, where he surprised me with his answer. I thought his answer right off the bat would be Keith Lee, and he said the Iron Survivor last year. So go over and check out why he explains that's his favorite match. So really good stuff on the channel this week. And we got the Rated Raw crew back together, me and Romeo. Proof that a Drake fan can work with someone who's a Kendrick Lamar fan. See, look at this. But we got plenty of people in the chat already. We got our fuck them up. We got Rantic World who says, "What's up, SP3? Welcome back, Romeo and chat." We also got the good brother, the GOAT, as Jimmy Macaram calls him, the Stone Cold Steve Austin of the True Hill Heat community, Will Chisholm. He says, "What is it? Was it me or that Sami promo felt like he was hitting back on the people who said he shouldn't beat Braun?" Yes, it did feel like that. It did have a tone of, I hear y'all talking on social media. I saw your tweet, SP3, that it felt like it was wrong for me to beat Braun at this time. But I'm a champion. I'm not an underdog. I'm a champion. I appreciate you, Sami, shouting me out on screen. But what did you think, Romeo?
Yeah, Sami checks Twitter. Like he's aware of what the IWC is feeling. So that's no surprise.
Factual. We got our other good brother, Vala B, one of our Patreon backers, one of our moderators here, one of our members here. He is one of the old time OGs of the chat. He says, Seth kind of called back to something we've said. Punk is always either the hero or the victim of the story, and therefore never takes accountability for it. Cooked Chick-fil-A in the end. I mean, spoiler alert, I think that this is now 2 straight promos Seth beat Punk on the mic.
That is 100% true. I agree. At the same time, CM Punk, I think the way he's coming off that's his character. That's him. It makes sense to me. But Seth Rollins is 100% justified in everything he's saying. And that's what makes the storyline so intriguing to me and probably other viewers, is that whose side do you pick? Because you could see both sides. Even though Seth Rollins probably makes a lot more sense, CM Punk, he is who he is. He is who he is.
Yeah, like I'm trying to not take into account anything Punk did anywhere else, or
Yeah,
Punk's
even if he puts that to the side.
random pot shots at AEW during his promos. I try to not take all of that into account. Just his character, since he's come back from WWE, I tend to kind of be on the side of Drew or Seth against him, because I don't think Punk is that likable. I think that Punk is legitimately an asshole who always has to be the hero or the victim.
It's still fun to watch. It's still fun to follow.
Oh yeah. It's entertaining as hell. I just want him to be a heel at this point. We got Bala B who says Punk the kind of guy who watches House of the Dragon and roots for the Greens.
I see what you did there. I see it. Yeah, I could see it, Bala B. I could see it.
100%. And we got also Will Chisholm with another super chat donation. Thank you so much, Will the Goat. He says, we know Cody's shooting for a Cena match. Cody might turn heel for the Cena program. I think that would be a mistake. I think that's the type of matchup you could do, babyface versus babyface.
100%. Yeah, Cody's not turning heel. No. He might in the future, but not next year. If that's what you mean. No. And not just for one program. No.
But we got a lot to discuss from this week's Monday Night Raw, which was from Ottawa, Canada. What did you think about the crowd last night in Ottawa?
Well, they were kind of dead early on. I don't know. Maybe they woke up a little bit later on. Definitely when Mommy came out for sure. But yeah, it's just, the other Canadian crowd was better this weekend.
I felt like they were more in early on, like the first hour especially, they were more into the wrestling than the promos. So it was very weird. It was a very weird crowd in comparison to like the usual WWE crowds that are mostly into like the promos and the angles more than the wrestling.
But you know what's funny with this show? It's like I just had 2 days, well, me personally, a day and a half because I hadn't finished Heatwave. But 2 days of wrestling. A lot of wrestling matches. I was okay with Raw being very story-heavy centric and setting the direction for SummerSlam. Now, if you bought a ticket to be there live in person, you're probably not okay with that. You want to see some wrestling too. You want to see some good ones too. But if I was one of those people in the crowd, I'd understand. Like, but me personally, I wanted to see a very story-heavy Raw last night, which I think I got.
And we had Pat McAfee back on commentary after a couple of weeks off after a death in his family. Welcome back to Pat. And the show kicked off with
should we talk about since you mentioned it, should we talk about the new commentator they hired today?
What's his name?
Joe Tessitore from ESPN. He's done. I know he does college football. I just want to say, if you don't know him, I think he's gonna translate really well. He's gonna be good. He's got a lot of energy, a lot of emotion. He's got a good voice. I think he's gonna be much better than some of these other knockoffs they've brought in the past. I think he's gonna deliver.
Yeah, I'm always worried now because they haven't had the best streak as far as guys from other sports coming on to WWE. But I wasn't surprised when I saw the report. It was from the New York Post who first reported it. I wasn't really surprised that they are putting him with Corey Graves and Wade Barrett, because I didn't think Wade Barrett and Corey Graves was a long-term thing, because they're both color commentators. And although I think that Corey made a almost seamless transition into like the play-by-play guy, that's not what he's really good at. It's like we said with MJF and his babyface run. MJF's babyface run is like putting Steph Curry in 2K at the 2 guard or power forward position when he's a 99 at point guard. Corey Graves is not a 99 as a color commentator, but he's a very solid 90 at this point. He's a very solid 90. So, but putting him at the play-by-play, he dropped down to like an 85. So not that much of a drop off, but it was still a transition.
100% agree with everything you just said, and I think Barrett and Graves will make the transition more easy on Joe having two of them by his side.
Yeah, I'm just a little shaky as well with the 3-man booth. It hasn't always been good for WWE, especially with someone new. I get flashbacks of Kevin Patrick and how he was.
This guy's this guy. Oh, he's gonna blow Kevin Patrick out of the water. It's night and day. You'll see. This guy's way better. I haven't heard him call a wrestling match. I could tell you he's way better.
We got Chase in the chat who agrees with you. He says Joe Tessitore. Is it Tessitore?
Yeah.
Tessitore. Great boxing announcer. And yes, Bell mentioning that Nick Khan used to be his agent. That was his first media person that Nick Khan ever represented. So the connection there makes a lot of sense as well.
Makes sense now.
But yes, like I said, the show kicked off with none other than CM Punk kicking off the show. Punk gets on the mic and he professed his well wishes to the soon-to-be retired John Cena, his old rival, before going on a tirade regarding Drew McIntyre.
Saying that somebody's ass every time he starts a promo. There's always got to be one ass that's kissed. Do you notice that?
Yes.
Every single promo. That's how he breaks the ice. Let me kiss somebody's ass real quick. And today was John Cena.
See, guys, I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy, guys. But he says he wants to lace it up with Cena one more time before going in on Drew McIntyre, saying that he told him that he would make sure he was never world heavyweight champion again, and he wished that he was here tonight because he would beat him up in the stands over there. There's people on that side of the camera. No pop. There's people on that side of the camera. People on that side of the camera, I would beat him up over there, beat him up in this ring, while patting himself on the back for screwing Drew McIntyre. He pointed out McIntyre's faults, saying that he has a $1 million body and a 10-cent brain, and why he has been getting in his way over and over again since WrestleMania. But this leads to none other than Seth freaking Rollins coming out to confront Punk. Seth Rollins took his time to the ring, so Punk had enough time to go to the commentary desk, put on Pat McAfee's headphones. He complained to Pat McAfee that he doesn't invite him on his show, so expect Punk to be the special guest on Pat McAfee's show in about a month from now. Seth Rollins gets on the mic and he beckons Punk to get back into the ring and accuses Punk of getting into his business when he cost Rollins the match at Money in the Bank. Punk tries to kind of, a little bit apologize. It takes a lot in him to apologize. He says, yeah, I'm trying to apologize. He was like, how would you feel if someone mentioned your child? Well, if they mentioned Rue, and like Seth was like, watch it. You better watch it. You don't say my daughter's name. He said, well, how would you feel? This guy has my wife and my dog on a bracelet. He said it may have a 10-cent value on retail, but it's the intent that matters. But if I somehow got in your way, I apologize, admitting that his rage got in the way of him before saying that, but it's you, so I'm not that sorry. Rollins pokes back at Punk, commenting that, oh, see, this is what you're all about. You're a gaslighter. You this is all you ever do. You gaslight people, and you're never the wrong. You're always the hero of your own story. You can never take accountability for your actions. In CM Punk, the main problem that I've always had with you is that you think the world revolves around you. Punk concludes by telling Punk that if, when he recovers, when he's finally medically cleared, he shouldn't be worried about Drew McIntyre because he's going to make sure that he snaps his arm off once and for all once he's cleared. Seth basically dropped the mic on Punk. Punk had no retort for all of that from Seth. I thought this was a really fiery babyface promo, and it felt very like, this is the one thing that I will say for Punk. all of his promos, especially his back and forths, have felt like more of a conversation than we're used to, than like the prototypical WWE promo exchange, like the revolving door promos and stuff like that. There's been a bit of realism, a lot of tension, whether it be with him and Drew, him and Seth, even the him and Cody before the Royal Rumble. There's that underlying tension of, I don't know if everybody here is cool with Punk. I don't know if everybody here really likes Punk being around. So that's what added to this. But the crowd, I felt like, was the weakest part of this. The crowd really just sat on their hands and weren't really reacting and into the promo as much as, you know, the people probably at home were. Later on in the show, though, we saw Adam Pearce basically telling Punk, about himself and getting involved at Money in the Bank. And Punk says he just wants to end this once and for all with Drew McIntyre. So Adam Pearce explains to him that he's going to invite Drew back next week. He's gonna tell him, but he's asking CM Punk to stay at home, to return home. And he says he needs to work on getting medically cleared. And if he's medically cleared, he can finally have his match with Drew. But first, he has to talk to Drew and see where his head is at so they can get this done and do business. Punk is kind of like hesitant, but he says that he's going to listen to him. He's going to rest up and get medically cleared. And it was confirmed later in the night that Drew McIntyre will return to Monday Night Raw next week. So we will hear from Drew, maybe get him and Adam Pearce in the ring together. Maybe Seth Rollins comes out for that. So it's very interesting where they're going exactly with SummerSlam, because this promo exchange between Seth and Punk kind of, made a lot of people think that we're getting that matchup sooner rather than later. I felt like the angle at Money in the Bank was setting up Seth and Punk for like WrestleMania and giving Seth another reason to be mad at Punk. But then again, that was kind of a big bucket of cold water was kind of put on Seth's reason to be mad at Punk later in the show, but we'll get into that. But what did you think about the promo exchange between Seth and Punk?
I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought both guys delivered, Seth even more so, because you could just see Seth's point of view. Like, he just calls out Punk's, hypocrisy. I think it's still, I think I agree with you that it's still the WrestleMania direction. They're going to run it back. They're going to try to run it back this time with Punk and Rollins. And I think this is just like planting a little seed for you to remember later on that they'll come back to. Both guys will be severely distracted. That Punk Drew feud is going to be multiple matches. And it has to have a Hell in a Cell match. Bad blood. It has to lead to that.
Yeah.
So Punk's going to be heavily distracted. Seth, that's going to be the thing where, like, what are you going to do with Seth? Like, for all this time to milk all the time.
I think that's why a lot of people think they're going to do something with Seth being involved in the Punk Drew matchup. Like, I heard Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio was talking about maybe a 3-way between them, because Seth doesn't have a matchup set up for SummerSlam. So are you just going to leave Seth off another SummerSlam after 2022 when everybody made a big deal that they pulled him and Riddle off of that SummerSlam 2 years later? In a lot of people's eyes, he's this generation's Mr. SummerSlam. Like, he had so many great matches, so many great performances at SummerSlam. You're going to keep him off again?
Yeah, I don't know. I could see him eventually, like, after SummerSlam. If Gunther's world champ, getting involved with that, running that match a couple of times or whatever. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah. We got Emmanuel in the chat. It says, I liked how they allowed Seth to cook. Yeah, I thought Seth was great. I thought the overall promo was very good. Very good. Because the tension between these two guys, it just elevates everything. There's that underlying feeling they don't like each other.
And like you said, it's a conversation. It's not old school WWE promo trying to yell over each other and shit like that,
Yeah, I really enjoy the way that a lot of Punk's promos have been like that. It's more conversational, and it seems like Seth is excelling at that, because this is now 2 promos in a row that Seth out promoed one of the greatest promos of all time in CM Punk. And Seth
he's
is
gonna
not
get
really
his
known
back.
as that guy.
He's gonna get his back. He knows that they still have a feud to really sink their teeth into, and where the intensity gets even higher. That they haven't gotten to that where Drew and Punk is right now. They haven't got to that level. They will.
We got
They will.
Vala B has become the #1 CM Punk hater, and I'm loving every minute of it. He says, starts with him baby facing someone, Cena. One dated reference, Jack Tunney. AEW reference, lame. Rest of the promo.
This is 100% true. And if you track this going forward, you will be able to fill in the blanks. It's 100% true.
It is. It really is.
I've noticed the first part always. The second part, the outdated reference, yeah, he usually drops a lot of those. And AEW reference, every fucking time. Come on.
Every fucking time.
Always a little wink to Pat McAfee, too. Wink, wink. You understood that reference.
Like you understood that, Pat, right? We got a super chat donation from our boy Will Chisholm once again. Thank you, Will. He says the way Punk tried to apologize to Seth is the way he said, "I'm home and I miss you." Like, yeah, it was so fake, so put on. So I like the fact that in the end he says, "But it's you, but because it's you, I can't be that sorry."
He stayed true to CM Punk, cutting that promo, which I appreciate instead of bullshit.
And I love Seth responding and saying that he's the dumbest smart dude he's ever met.
They're going to have a lot of fun when it really gets going in WrestleMania season. It's going to be must-see TV.
Absolutely. We got another super chat donation from Will Chisholm once again. Thank you, Will. He says, GM Adams sounds like Tony if he tried to get the EVPs to work with Punk. More so the Bucks, because it seemed like Kenny was down. Yeah, Kenny was 100%. Kenny was the only one that talked to Punk after all Brawl Out. So yeah, Kenny was down. Kenny was fine with all that. Kenny Omega did nothing wrong. That used to be my catchphrase for about 2 years.
I'm surprised we're not seeing more of that. Like maybe them trying to poke fun at getting Punk to work with people. I'm surprised we're not seeing more of that.
True. We got Bell who says, you can really tell Seth and Punk just don't like each other, period. Yeah.
I think behind the scenes, I think they're okay. I think they're more than okay, actually. But they have a way to translate it on screen.
I think they probably have had a conversation to be able to, work with each other. But I think that Seth probably does still have underlying feelings towards him. Because it feels like more of the real Kobe Lopez comes out in his promo work when he's with Punk.
Yeah. We won't see it for a while because they're on opposite brands. I want to see Punk and Owens. That'd be fun.
That would be
on the mic.
That would be a lot of fun. We got backstage Adam Pearce asking Dominik Mysterio if the Judgment Day is cool with Dominik teaming with Liv Morgan tonight, and he says he isn't cool. So he doesn't want this. He doesn't want to team with Liv. He walks away and says that he has the matchup still tonight. And then Liv Morgan walks up. Of course she is, and she says that it's time to talk some strategy. And Dom says, all right, whatever. He is like, there better be chicken nuggies.
Nuggies and tendies.
Nuggies and tendies.
I love Liv Morgan's shirt. I forgot what it said. I think I can fix him, something like that. Something along those lines. Liv Morgan, man. Every week. Every week. They found a way. They found a way to just make what she was doing interesting every week while Rhea was gone.
Yes.
Good job.
They did it. They did a good job with that. And then we had our opening contest, Jey Uso going one-on-one with Chad Gable, two of the 6 men that were in the men's Money in the Bank contract matchup. These two guys went at it. They were both taped up after Money in the Bank. They fight over a hip toss to start until Jey sends Gable to the outside where he goes for a suicide dive. But Gable's able to catch him and cut it off with a belly-to-belly suplex before we go to commercial break. We come back from break with Gable putting Jey down and barely hitting a top rope headbutt right to like the side of the shoulder. Jey is right back up to send him outside where he finally does hit the suicide dive. Gable's hitting his hangman's neck breaker dominator type move at one point for a near fall. We come back into the ring. Gable gets the ankle lock, but then the Wyatts cut off the lights, the Wyatt 6, and that distracts Gable long enough for Jey to hit a super kick, a spear, a 1-2-3, and Jey Uso picks up a victory over Chad Gable, just over 7 minutes in this one. And I love Jey Uso's response to seeing the fireflies come out, seeing the lights go down. He was like, yeet, and then I'm out of here. He runs to the
You
back.
don't fuck around, man.
He was like Dwayne Martin's character in Scream 2. He got the fuck up out of here. He was not going to get killed. He was like, the color person always gets killed in these horror movies. He immediately bails, and Gable is left in the ring, which starts to fill up with smoke around his almost unconscious body. He finally gets up, and he sees Nikki Cross, a.k.a. Abby the Witch, pop up. So Gable runs up the hell out of here as well. But Abby is not here for Gable. She once again has our third package from the Wyatt 6 that is delivered to the commentary table. This time she delivers it directly to Pat McAfee. You know, the first one was tagged for Pat McAfee, and Michael Cole committed a crime on national TV opening someone else's package. But this time it is given to Pat McAfee to open up. And of course, it is another VHS, our third VHS from the Wyatt 6. I love the transition they did here, though. They did the whole, you know, Wyatt 6, and then they panned to backstage where Sheamus was waiting on with Jackie Redmond, and he says, that was weird. And he says he's rather proud of being here for 15 years. When Bronson Reed comes in to say that he is the future while Sheamus is stuck in the past, the challenge is issued by Sheamus that he wants to have a banger with Bronson Reed, but Reed says he's busy this week, so Sheamus can watch him beat up his old friend, Pete Dunne. What did you think about Jey versus Gable, the Wyatt 6 interruption at the end, and then that transition to Sheamus and Bronson Reed?
Jey versus Gable was cool, despite the distraction finish.
It was fine. It just felt like we only saw 4 minutes of a 7-minute matchup. Right. I would have wished that it was longer. And once he took the fall, I'm just like, damn, Chad Gable has lost a lot since he re-signed.
The good days are about to come. Just watch, as a good friend Triple H says. But the Wyatt 6, the crowd pops whenever they hear that, you know, the lights going down. So that's always a good moment. But I got to talk about Jey Uso real quick, because I don't know. Let me know if you talked about this on the Money in the Bank review. He's kind of in the mud right now. Like, this guy was talking a lot of junk. Yeet in the bank. Gonna get the briefcase. It's my time. And he lost. I'm sorry, man. I think he talked more trash than anybody else in that match about winning that thing. And he came up short. He failed. And I just out here on Raw. Yeet. See ya. Bye. You didn't see me.
He never look, dude. Remember on this very review. Remember after the whole when Jimmy Uso reignited their rivalry, and he cost him the Intercontinental title. The very next week, he's still doing. Hey, that's some fun. And I was just like, dude, what happened to one of the most best emotional characters in wrestling? In 2022, 2023, he was like the best real emotions he would always show, whether it be Sami trying to be in the bloodline, whether it be his confliction on Roman's manipulation. Like, he was one of the best character workers in this company. And now, like Valavi says, he's kind of like a cartoon character. It's just like, oh, that was last week. It's time to eat.
Yeah. I understand, though, that they're kind of baiting time, because he's eventually going to get caught up in this bloodline stuff again on the right side with his brother and with his cousin. I understand that is the direction incoming. So there's no window of opportunity for single success anytime soon for Jey Uso until that is done with again. Until he has to go back into that universe, the bloodline universe. So it's just gonna have to. It's just the situation it is. It's just that he talks so much trash. I didn't forget. But yeah, Wyatt 6, and then Sheamus, and we're celebrating Sheamus 15 years. Great, I guess. But Bronson Reed, there's another guy that talks way too much. Hasn't won a big match yet. No, not once has he won a big match yet. And I'm gonna forget it. So let me say it now. Later on, when this guy has his match against Pete Dunne, commentary says Pete Dunne's underdog. I'm like, what? What? This guy's a former NXT UK champion. What has Bronson Reed ever done? Nothing. Nothing.
Hey, he's a former
Underdog.
NXT North American champion.
Oh, that's
Cut it
a
out.
ring
Cut it
under.
What?
Ring
Any NXT championship is higher than the NXT UK championships.
No,
Yep.
not the UK championship. No.
Yep.
I disagree.
Yep.
Disagree.
Hey, UK championship looked better than all of them, but it was lower than any of the NXT championships. I'm sorry. Sorry to tell you that. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, guys.
You had to. I could have forgot that Bronson Reed was ever held that title. I could have forgot. How long was that reign?
I think it was only like a month and a half, and he lost.
He lost
it to. You want to see how long ago it was? He lost it to Swerve Strickland.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Oh, we got
Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Exactly. We got a super chat donation once again from Vala B. Thank you so much, Vala B. He says, Snagglepuss J over here, heavens to eat, exit stage left. That was a great response. I love Jay doing yeet. All right, I'm out.
He don't mess around with that oogly boogly, as Chase Oliver likes to say. He don't mess around with that, man. Wants to stay out of that universe. Boogly. I will gladly go back to the Bloodline universe. I do not want to mess around with the oogly boogly.
Boogity. We got Big Man Dogs in the chat. Thank you once again, Vala B. Big Man Dogs saying that's true. There's no room for serious Jay, so he can just be a goof. Yeah, he can just be a goof for now, but he's gonna need to tap. He's gonna need to tap into his more character work when he gets back into the Bloodline story. But what do we know? Every time he steps out there, he gets one of the biggest pops. His entrance is dope. So it's all about the live fans most of the time. So don't take into account and be like, oh, these guys are just a part of the internet wrestling community that wants to crap all over Jey Uso. But I agree with Romeo. You talked a lot. You talked a big game, and then you came up short.
Yeah, listen, I know the return of Jay's migraines are coming whenever the Bloodline drama comes. He starts getting intense headaches. That's coming for sure. But yeah, he's still over like Rover with the crowd, and like, you know, he's still gonna be good. Like the crowd loves him.
Yeah, 1,000%. Speaking of the, go ahead.
I think Triple H would put the world title on him. I think it's gonna come far into next year. You just got to find a way through all the Bloodline drama, keep him still hot. The crowd's still loving him.
Yeah, I agree with you there, but I just feel like he's a better tag team wrestler than a singles wrestler. It might be just
he always will be.
Yeah. Next up, we had our second singles matchup on the show. The aforementioned Bronson Reed going up against Pete Dunne. This match I thought was a little bit better than I thought it would be. It also got like just over 7 minutes, but you had Pete Dunne. He started grabbing an arm bar, hitting a quick enziguri. Reed sent him to the outside, and Dunne was able to get a moonsault before we went to commercial break. We come back from commercial break. He hits another enziguri. He catches him, gets the arm, and starts working over the fingers. Reed catches him with a hell of a lariat, turning him inside out. A powerbomb gives Reed a 2 count, and then Dunn is back up after recovering, and he hits a third enziguri. There was a lot of enziguris in this damn matchup to cut off the tsunami, but not that mattered, as Reed was able to drop Dunn and then go to the top rope and finally hit that damn tsunami, and there's no kicking out from that one. Bronson Reed picks up a victory here. Post-match, we get Bronson Reed looking like he's going to put on more punishment onto Pete Dunne when Sheamus comes out to make the save. He comes in and brawls with Reed before Bronson basically bails up out of there. Then he turns around and sees Pete Dunne. He looks like he's going to embrace with his former Brawling Brute partner, but Pete Dunne basically shoves him away and walks off, as commentary says that, Pete Dunne is still holding a grudge against Sheamus because his injury and him leaving led to the fallout of the Brawling Brutes. So he hasn't forgiven Sheamus from that. And then later on in the show, it was announced that it will be Sheamus going one-on-one with Bronson Reed next week on Monday Night Raw. What did you think about Reed versus Dunn here?
I agree with your thoughts about the match. Does Sheamus even know Pete Dunne, or does he just know Butch? That's a genuine question.
You look familiar.
Did Pete Dunne came while Sheamus was gone, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't know who that. He doesn't know who that is. It's a completely different person, Sheamus. You can't pretend this guy's Butch, but get ready to see a lot more of Pete Dunne in singles action, which is fine by me, even though it's under bad circumstances. Tyler Bate, he put on Instagram that he tore his left pectoral major and tendon off the bone, so he is out for months, 4 to 6 months, I guess. So we'll see a lot more Pete Dunne in singles action, and good for him. And look, he's already got a built-in story with this Sheamus thing. Yeah. They could tell something good with that, even though does Pete Dunne really have a gripe? I don't know. You think whose side you taking here so far?
I'm gonna take Sheamus because I don't think
we hear Dunne out. His story.
I'm willing to hear Dunne out, and I like the fact that they got him into a single story with Tyler Bate, being sidelined. I literally when they announced that it was going to be Pete Dunne versus Bronson Reed, I was like, oh yeah, Pete Dunne is on Monday Night Raw. I totally forgot.
We're so blessed.
I totally.
Oh, great.
I was like, oh, that's great. That's cool. I've been seeing him on NXT more than Monday Night Raw since he got drafted here, but hey, it's good to see him. And I'm glad. All it took was Tyler Bate getting injured, and Pete Dunne was able to get on Monday Night Raw. Damn, what was Tyler Bate doing? Was Tyler Bate holding Pete Dunne back this whole time?
And then watch when Tyler Bate comes back, they're just going to run this exact same story back. And this time, Tyler Bate playing the role of Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne playing the role.
Yeah, because Pete Dunne gonna be like, no, Pete Dunne gonna look at Tyler Bate like, oh, you're the reason that the new catch for Felvick fell out. You got injured. Just like Sheamus. You got injured.
Triple threat match, Mania. Brawling Brutes. And Tyler Bate.
The new Brawling Brutes here with Tyler Bate when he comes
Rich
back.
Holland's just forgotten.
He's in Chase U now. He's on Chase U. He is the deciding factor of Chase U while they've been winning lately. Vala B says he dropped the best tsunami he ever did. It was a really good one, and Pete Dunne sold it very, very well. Big Man Dog says Sheamus is like, why are you wearing that ugly singlet again? he's like, where's your cabbie hat and your tank top?
I just like that Sheamus doesn't have a traditional black WWE shirt. It's a nice green shirt. Switch it up here. Wrestling fans wear more than the color black. It's okay. Come on.
Please. If it wasn't so annoying, I would definitely get the Yeet shirt because it's white.
I like the Yeet shirt. But did you see how pathetic that whiteout that Michael Cole wanted in Toronto? How many black shirts they wear in that sea of white?
Oh my god! I was like, yo, why did you even say that? Like wrestling fans were gonna last minute. And you gotta realize that a lot of these fans are not from Toronto. They flew out here, so they only had a couple of options, and most of their options was black wrestling shirts. There's only 4 freaking white shirts. It's that Punk shirt, the Yeet shirt. I don't even know.
And you guys spend $40.
The Bloodline did one white shirt. That's it.
You gotta spend $40 to get it.
Ridiculous. That was a ridiculous request. That's the type of request he should have said on Monday Night Raw instead of the kickoff show
weeks in advance.
Money in the Bank. Yeah,
weeks in advance, so you drill it in their heads.
Absolutely. What are you doing? Backstage, we see the Judgment Day is chatting it up when Seth freaking Rollins interrupts with Damian Priest telling the rest of the Judgment Day he has this. Rollins says that sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And on Sunday, Priest was very, very lucky, but he was also very, very good. If he wants to keep it though, he needs to be better than that if he's going to beat Gunther at SummerSlam. And he says that he wishes him luck, but before Seth can walk away, Priest stops him. And Priest says that he is willing to throw away their little gentleman's agreement of no more title shots for Rollins. He says once he's done with Gunther at SummerSlam, Seth can have another go at the World Heavyweight Championship. And I was like, well, way to throw a whole big bucket of cold water on the freaking Seth Rollins being upset with CM Punk. Now he got no reason to be upset with CM Punk. He didn't lose his opportunity at the World Heavyweight Championship as long as Damian Priest is champion. So why are you upset at Punk anymore? You should just move on and wait for the winner of Gunther and Priest here. I thought that this was good. This was a good segment for Priest, though, because it did babyface him and show that he is a top star. I thought that his response of that in a vacuum for his character, it helped more than all the cheap victories he's gotten as World Heavyweight Champion. But as far as the Seth part of this, it threw a big bucket of cold water on his program with CM Punk. Because why are you upset with Punk now?
Two things. One on the first point that you're saying. Yes, I agree with what you're saying, but also he still can be like, he can't be as mad now, obviously, but he still can be a little bit mad because it cost him that opportunity, that one opportunity, but he's still going to get more opportunities. So it works a little bit both ways, but I understand what you're saying. And I was prepared to be really angry at Seth to just let this shit slide and honor the stipulation. Like, yes, Damian Priest kept his part of the stipulation, but all the shenanigans, like I would have thrown that agreement right out the window. You kidding me? No, that doesn't count anymore. That doesn't count anymore. You saw what happened. That doesn't count. But Priest, he came out of this looking like a stand-up guy. Oh, well, he didn't have to do that, but he did because it's been getting to him. It's his character now. He wants to be respected, and for his title reign and the wins that come with it, he doesn't want them to be cheap. So that's very babyface like, even though he still comes off like a dick everywhere else, but it's coming across like
I don't think he comes off like a dick at all.
Sometimes
he's come off like a babyface a lot throughout this. I would say since the Drew build up to Clash at the Castle, he's come off like he doesn't want the Judgment Day's help anymore. He's very confident in himself. He wants to be a respected world champion. They've been babyfacing him little by little every week. I don't think he has that, like the CM Punk unlikability. He doesn't have that.
No. Few people have that. You can make a list on one hand.
That's very true. Seth also mentioning that at this point, Damian Priest gets a phone call and he picks up and he's like, "Oh yeah, so you're gonna be here? Oh, cool." And he's smiling away, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's Rhea Ripley." I was like, that was confirmation of Worked Wrestling's report before Monday Night Raw that tonight was the night for the Rhea return. That was the first confirmation because they went heavy. They laid it on thick with the teasing. Yeah,
like you are not going to sleep. Don't even think about it. You're gonna miss it. Yeah.
God damn it, WWE. You got me up here in the UK up until 4 a.m. to watch the ending of this show. I hate when they do that to me. They didn't give me a Karrion Kross matchup where I would have fell asleep.
Will you stop?
I'm saying, hey, we got a promo. That's always better. Always better Karrion Kross talking than wrestling. Sorry. But speaking of someone who could do both wrestle and talk, Sami Zayn, the Intercontinental Champion, is here for a chat. Zayn is happy to be here in Ottawa.
Look at this outfit. Look at what's this guy's a symbol of fashion. The Mick Foley school of dressing up.
Happier to be here still as Intercontinental Champion. The fans are chanting, "Ole, ole, 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 ole." He said Braun Breaker brought it on Saturday, but he underestimated Zayn, who is still champion. And he says after all these years, he says that he is no longer an underdog. He says that he has earned he should have earned some respect because now he is not fighting as an underdog. He is fighting as a champion. This brings out his opponent from Money in the Bank, Braun Breaker, to interrupt. Breaker stares at him, stares a hole through Sami, and Zayn isn't sure what he wants out here. He basically pushes the mic into Breaker's chest, and I was like, you're going to regret that. Breaker says that he's here to look into Sami's eyes. He's here to look in the eyes of the only man in the locker room who can say that he beat him. There is no reason Breaker should get a rematch. He turns around and he's like thinking about it, and then he says, "Ah, fuck it, I'm gonna spear you right out of your damn shoes." Jesus Christ! When I saw Sammy's shoe on the ground, I was like, "Yo, Sami, you gotta get up and you gotta smack the shit out of this dude. He should not be spearing you out your shoes."
Good job, Sami.
Security is here to break it up as Breaker was hammering away at Sami. Yes, Jason Jordan sighting. Sami gets to the outside thanks to some officials. Breaker is being yelled at by Adam Pearce when he gives Adam Pearce the old Three Stooges okie doke of, "Oh, what's that over there?" And then runs around the ring, and delivers a second spear to Sami on the floor. Security and officials bring Breaker up the aisleway, where Ilia Dragunov comes out to check to basically come at Braun Breaker first, and then he goes to check on Sami Zayn. He helps up Zayn. As we come back from commercial break, we see that Zayn is all busted up in his ribs after the second spear in the trainer's room, where Ilya Dragunov and Adam Pearce are there, and Dragunov demands that he wants Braun Breaker later tonight, and Pearce says it is official. What did you think about this segment here as Braun Breaker once again laying out Sami Zayn and seemingly getting himself positioning himself for another opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship?
Braun Breaker's booking continues to make me a fan of how they're treating this man like a big deal. He lost on Saturday. I thought it was a good match, and I didn't think he really lost too much. Like, we got to get used to this now. Like, I know it's hard to accept, but Sami Zayn is in his overpowered era. Sami Zayn is the big dog now. Sami Zayn can go like this. This guy's hard to beat now, man. So it's been a long time coming. He deserved it. He deserves it. What do you think?
This is not Sami Zayn of 2022.
No, it's not. No, it is not. Vince McMahon. Oh, if he was around, what the fuck is this? No, Paul. We're not doing that.
Here comes the run-in. We got a run-in.
Oh,
we got a runner.
Hey,
look, it's Romeo. Say hi, Romeo.
Hi, Romeo. What do you think of Braun Breaker's music?
What
were you eating?
Chippies.
Chilies?
How was Chippies? That's what she calls French fries.
Oh, it's very English of you.
I know she's very English. She's very English now. He said, "Why are you turning off the light? Don't turn off the light." Say hi to all the people out there. Say hi.
Hi.
And tell them to like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. What's Jimmy?
You want Jimmy?
Yeah.
No, Jimmy. Sorry.
No, Jimmy. No, Jimmy. You gotta wait for Thursday.
2 more days.
So you're out of here now?
It's Romeo Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Romeo on Tuesday. You gonna say
Jimmy
bye to
Thursday.
Romeo?
Bye, Romeo.
Bye.
Say bye, Romeo.
Bye, Romeo.
Bye, Harlem.
Go to see mommy.
Okay.
Harlem Heat.
Go to see mommy. All right. Harlem Heat.
What do you think of Braun Breaker's
I'm
music?
sorry.
What do you think of Braun Breaker's new music?
I actually said this to Jimmy last night. I was like, Braun Breaker's new music is both better but not good at all at the same time.
100% agreed. I give them credit that they heard the criticism that the other shit was trash and they changed it. I give them credit for that. Still needs work, but it's better. It's not as good as his NXT thing. I thought his NXT thing was good.
Like, just go back. It's still Def Rebel. Like, Def Rebel made that too.
It makes no sense. It makes no like Def Rebel's like, we don't really like it though. I don't give a shit. I want that. Unless you're gonna save it for him when he turns babyface. I don't know. Because this does feel heelish, menacing. This theme, it does give off that theme, for a lack of better words.
Yeah, I may be able to like get used to it, where it can grow on me. It's not as horrible as that first change. Oh my god,
100.
So
100% agree.
We got Annika who says, "I am glad Sami won on Saturday." I know a lot of y'all are like very high on or not that high on Braun Breaker as me and Romeo have. Like Chrissy is another one that's not very high on him. Seems like Annika isn't as well, saying that she's glad Sami got the win.
Let me say something because this goes hand in hand what we're talking about earlier. If I think Braun Breaker's gonna get this IC title sooner or later. Maybe
I think SummerSlam.
Maybe. Yeah. That's another story for John Cena and his retirement run. He's never won the IC title. And if you keep Braun Breaker champion, there you have it. Writes itself.
I would love that. We got Semantic Girl. This says, so the theme song went from trash to ass. Now, is ass like on a higher level than trash? Like, I don't know.
It's better. It still needs work.
Yes. Chilling with Jay says, Death Rebel is amazing. They make new themes worse.
Wait, no. Rephrase that. They make their own themes. Their own themes worse. Like, they're not even remaking, like, who's the previous one? CFO? They're not remaking CFO songs. Yeah. They're remaking their own songs, Death Rebel songs. They're making them worse.
And it's so weird because like to big up Jimmy once again here is that I saw like a video on YouTube which was like comparing like the people that have a Jim Johnson theme, a CFO theme, and a Death Rebel theme. Like more like there was more people than I was very surprised that there was more people whose Death Rebel themes were actually better, like Bobby Lashley. I think Bobby Lashley's Death Rebel Almighty theme is better than all his other themes. I really like he's still hurt. I really like Naomi's, amazing from CFO, but the new theme is great. The glow theme, that new one she has, that's great as well, and that's Death Rebel. So it's not like they're all zeros. And Seth's visionary theme is better than all his previous themes as well. So it's not like they are like 0%, but they're like at like a 45 when they should be higher than 50.
And Roman's theme?
Roman's another one. Yeah, Roman's theme is immaculate. It's just great. So yeah, it's weird. We got Belle who says, I also used to call chips chippies. So there you go. See, it's English. She's already British. We got Chilling with Jay saying Lyra Valkyria, I think, has a good Death Rebel theme. Yeah, she does. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, dun, dun, dun.
No, they say woo, which Charlotte Flair is gonna have a word with her about that crap when she comes. We still got another return on the horizon. Oh, I can't wait.
You're bubbling at the bits. We recap John Cena's retirement announcement from Money in the Bank, and then we head into trios action as the Judgment Day. Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Judgment Day adjacent Carlito team up to face Awesome Truth, Miz, and R-Truth, as well as Braun Strowman. During Miz and Truth's awful entrance, I'm sorry, like R-Truth on his own is great. But Miz doing ad-libs makes it hard. Like he's like Death Rebel. He's like Death Rebel to R-Truth's. R-Truth's. It always gets over the what's up, but the Awesome Truth version of his theme, no.
Miz is so bad.
Miz being offbeat is just horrible.
He's doing it on purpose, right?
I hope so.
Because I think he's so bad that he's actually good at it. Does that make sense? like he's purposely doing it. That's how bad he is.
He's so good at being bad at this. Braun Strowman comes in. He chases off Carlito for a bit before the action kind of gets to normal after we come from commercial break. The baby faces start running wild. Eventually, we get Truth coming in with his John Cena comeback, hitting the AA on Carlito. All the heels are on the outside, so Braun Strowman basically gets Truth in there, and they decide to do the train gimmick together. They run down Balor and Carlito with double shoulder blocks before Braun Breaker chases JD McDonough out of the arena. R-Truth is celebrating the big train sequence with Miz trying to tell him to pay attention to the matchup. This allows Finn Balor to hit the shotgun dropkick as Truth bumps into Miz, and it allows our Finn Balor to capitalize and hit the coup de grace for the 1-2-3. This match just going over 8 minutes. We had a commercial break in between there, so we only saw about 5 minutes of this show, but of this matchup. But the Judgment Day pick up another victory after winning the World Tag Team titles, and it seems like we're getting closer and closer to Miz turning on Truth, because Miz gave him a little evil look after the matchup after Truth bumped into him. So what did you think about this matchup here, and what do you think about Awesome Truth demise coming very soon?
Who cares about the match? Awesome Truth want to break up. That'd be fine by me. Heel Miz is very similar to what we were talking about earlier. What were you saying? Where somebody's just better at they could do something, but they're better at doing something else. The Miz falls right into that with MJF, and I forgot who else we were talking about. Same thing.
Corey Graves as a play-by-play.
There you go. Yeah. Maybe I can mention here that Finn Balor confirmed he signed for 5 years, and that he's hoping he could get one Gunther match. Can I get one in those 5 years? I'd love to.
He's like, I was supposed to get it before the pandemic.
You'll get it. You'll get it, brother. Just watch.
Bell says Carlito reminds me of that kid in school just trying to fit in with a popular crowd. No, Carlito is Drew Barrymore's character from that movie where she's like a newspaper person who poses as a high school person. That's Carlito in the Judgment Day. He is
Never
Never Been Kissed. That's the name of the movie. Never Been Kissed. He's Drew Barrymore.
Never Been Kissed.
I figured. There's like a 90% chance if I mention a movie, you've never seen it, Romeo.
Right, we're going crazy. The one day that SP3 mentions a movie that I have seen, we are throwing a party.
We need to have like horns and like balloons. Hit the button. It's like when Pee-wee's house when they say the word of the day. Like
yeah. But no, Carlito's great. We're gonna talk about Carlito in one of these segments. He's fitting in great with the Judgment Day. Fitting great.
Yeah, I like him. It's
comedic
that's
relief.
Why I compare it. That's why I compare it to Drew Barrymore, because Drew Barrymore actually fit in that movie as a high schooler because she didn't have experience as a high schooler. So it feels right. We're gonna chill with Chase saying, gonna quote Romeo here, never seen it. So he's right there with me.
I don't feel bad.
We got another super chat donation. Thank you so much, Aubrey James, who says Dom did nothing wrong. Well, speaking of which, next up was Adam Pearce talking to CM Punk, where we talked about that already. Then we go to the Judgment Day Clubhouse, and we see Dominik Mysterio, who is playing some NBA. It was playing some WWE 2K when Liv Morgan said she wanted to practice some double team moves. And he's like, why do we need to get double team moves? He says all he wants to do is beat up his dad. She thinks that he's a little tense, so she backs him up onto the couch and offers to loosen him up. Dom trips onto the couch, so Liv grabs his leg and starts stretching him out, basically pegging him. Meanwhile, we get the Judgment Day and Carlito who walk in. First is Damian Priest, who's just like, whoa. And then we get JD and Finn, who just pop in their heads like they're fucking cartoon characters. And then Carlito, who comes in, he says, whoa, that's cool. They come in and mock whatever is going on with Morgan. Morgan kind of playing it coy, and then she leaves. We get Damian Priest once again telling him to deal with this, and Dom once again telling Damian Priest that he sounded just like his dad. And he's like, you need to deal with this whole Liv Morgan problem. It's not that hard. Oh. And Carlito says, it looks hard to me.
Oh.
Don got a boner, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about a wrestling TV show that had a boner segment.
We're not even on Netflix yet. Imagine when we are. Then they'll probably show the boner by then.
Damian Priest is even figuring out why Rey Mysterio treats Dominik the way he does. This was all wacky shenanigans, but very entertaining. This is one of the best moments of the night for me.
Ain't it wild? Carlito is now overtaken R-Truth as like the funniest guy on Raw now. Isn't it wild?
His reactions to all the Liv and Dom stuff has been gold. It's been gold.
Yes.
It's brought the humor of the segment out.
He's so unserious. Like he can't figure out what's legitimately cool. The guy that was cool for years. It's like he's getting it wrong now every time. Pisses off Priest.
But just to tell you what type of show this is, where we have rapid changes in the tone and what we're talking about, they went from the boner segment to the Wyatt 6 tape. To where Bo Dallas...
Like, wow, I need a commercial break, guys. I need to cool off.
Something in the middle here. You could have put the punk and Priest thing in between the boner segment and this. Like, guys, there's a
by the way,
I think you said this before that I think earlier in the year you said like there's these tone shifts that don't work, and this was one of them on Monday Night Raw.
You get everything in these 3 hours, everything. But you know what that other segment reminded me of? Remember Triple H and Trish Stratus?
Yes,
when they were going over wrestling moves and Stephanie McMahon caught them. It gave me a little feeling of that. It's funny.
It did. It definitely did. But the new Wyatt 6 tape sees Bo Dallas talking about how his family has been disregarded and forgotten. Dallas gave them a purpose. And as we see some of the other members, he talks about how they were begging for mercy as the buzzards surrounded them. And we see Huskus the Pig, and we finally see the real face of Joe Gacy. We then see
face only a mother can love.
And we then see Mercy the Buzzard, and we finally see the real face of Dexter Loomis. He says the buzzard circled them, and then grief is the price you pay. And we see Eric Rowan, which I'm hoping we get the Eric Rowan promo about him talking about his grief and losing people. I mean, he says grief is Bo Dallas says grief is the price you pay for love. And then we see when he says love, we see Nikki Cross, aka Abby the Witch, aka the bride of Uncle Howdy. That's what I got from this whole promo. But now they must set the captives free. And we see random fire shots of the team and a smiling Bo Dallas who says, sick is what they will be. He says, they think, do you think we're sick? Yes, sick is what we will be. They're doing a nice job of making this whole team and their purpose, their mission statement, very, very clear with these tapes. I like the fact that they went a different direction because I liked last week's promo as a follow-up for the first one. But, me, Chase, and Robert were really on the same page last week where we said you could have just made those 2 weeks together as one and made it even more impactful. But this was a clear difference of direction, and I like it. And I would appreciate if the follow-up is now the individual promos and interviews with the other members to explain why they have joined the family. But they're doing a great job with the production, and Bo Dallas is knocking this out the park.
100% agreed. Folks, get used to this. This is going to be like a segment every week. They're going to stretch this out. It's going to take a very long time. They're going to tell a lot of story. They're going to take their time with it. They're not going to rush everything oh, here we are. Let's go have a wrestling match. No. Yeah. It's going to be a while before they even have a wrestling match. A very long while. We have to accept that. They're going to take their time telling these stories. That's what they want to do with this. I'm fine with it so far. I think they're batting 1,000. I think they're knocking it out of the park each week. Yeah, Dexter Loomis looks so different. Oh, that was kind of striking. But yeah, I want to hear from each one every week. They've all got their own story to tell. They've all got their own issues. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. And yeah, Bo Dallas is definitely knocking it out of the park. And sometimes he looks so much like his brother. So it's kind of eerie.
Especially in the Uncle Howdy mask. He looks exactly like Bray. But I disagree with you. I don't know. I think they might pull the trigger on the first match, at least for Bo, Uncle
SummerSlam?
Howdy, SummerSlam, because of this
Gable.
follow-up segment where Chad Gable finds Raw General Manager Adam Pearce, who says that it's clear. He says that it's clear that the Wyatts are talking about him. Pierce says that he has double security already. He's looking into it. There's an investigation going on, but maybe Gable should figure out why the Wyatts are after him. Gable says that he'll deal with this himself, and he needs a damn vacation. How about that? With Gable now gone, Adam Pearce walks into his locker room and he sees in real time, in live action, Bo Dallas, and it's like, Adam, don't close the door. What are you doing? Don't close the door. You don't want to be left alone with this man. This man is not all right. He is not all there. But I like
brother looking good too. He got the shape up from the Dominicans. Like they got somewhere in between making that VHS tape. He was able to get a shape up too while he was on. That's some great stuff, Paul. Great stuff.
Yes, I like that. I like.
But yeah, I think okay, if you are gonna get matches, probably just Uncle Howdy for now. I don't think the other guys are gonna be stepping in the ring like all too often.
I can see that. I can see that. We do have a couple.
But yeah, that'd be cool for SummerSlam. Get him.
Yeah. We have a couple of super chat donations here. Chuck Berry saying, which faction dismembers first? Breaks up.
Members? Yeah.
Breaks up first. The Judgment Day or Damage Control? I'm going to say, as presently constructed, Judgment Day.
I think Damage Control will add more members. I think Judgment Day will probably lose Priest and Rhea, and then probably add more members from there, but still be Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So, is that a cop out of your question? Probably, because I don't think either one's ending first. Okay, dismembers who loses a member first?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Judgment Day? Yeah.
Yeah. We got another super chat donation from the GOAT, Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. He says, this is how you know they making Priest babyface now. He's been loyal to Rhea the whole time. Definitely. Him and Rhea are like the two people that Rhea, it was more organic with the fans getting behind her and cheering her more. Really, it kind of took it to it was already happening at the end of 2023, but they took it to the next level with the build up to Elimination Chamber and her rivalry with Nia Jax. And they really presented her and Becky as two baby faces or two superstars going up against each other. And they just said, all right, she's a baby face now, with the Liv Morgan heel turn and everything that transpired with her getting injured and then everything that's played out since then. So, but with Priest, it's more of a slow burn that they're doing with him showing more signs of being a babyface.
And it's mostly in backstage segments. Like he hasn't really gotten that huge like babyface moment in the ring yet. I think it's probably still to come. But there, if you're paying attention, if you're watching the segments, you should be warming up to Damian Priest's character. Like he's trying to be an honorable guy and trying to do things the right way, which is very un-Judgment Day like.
Very true. We got another super chat donation from Will. Thank you again, Will. He says, that segue to the Uncle Howdy promo felt like when BET Uncut was on at the end and it would go to a church pastor.
Oh, how do you even respond to that?
It's great. That's a great comparison because it did feel like that. It did. Oh, man. He's like, I'm supposed to take this seriously after I just saw a guy get a boner? Like, really? Speaking of Damage Control, they are backstage for a backstage promo. They said that they are, EO says that Damage Control has lost control and they're sick of the lack of respect. Each of them cut promos and says that something has to change. And EO at the end says that starts tonight. And they are facing Lyra Valkyria and Katana Chance and Kaden Carter later on in the show. I didn't like the background music, but I understand it's because, EO and Kairi are speaking in Japanese and they believe that it adds more vibes to it, but it felt very, it felt very weird to me with the background.
Anytime there's subtitles, there has to be background music. Yeah,
I guess that's their rule. Yeah.
that's how EO edits. That's her editing style in the truck.
She sends it to them. She's like, "Let me do the editing and stuff. Here you go, guys. Here you go." And then we had the follow-up to the earlier angle with Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn. Ilya Dragunov in a rematch against Braun Breaker here. Both men start off fast. We get Breaker suplexing Ilya, and Ilya just immediately gets up and he does one of his own. He goes for multiple German suplexes, and then he goes for the Constantine special, but misses though. Breaker runs him over. Breaker does this gorilla press power slam for a 2 count. We go to an early break. When we come back, Dragunov is fighting back, getting some shots in. He sets up for a nice little power bomb. I like the sell of the power bomb with Breaker trying to grab the ropes to break it up, but not being able to. Ilya follows up with a big backsplash off the top rope, which only gives him a 2 count, but then Breaker breaks things up. He does a nice little gorilla press gut buster for a 2 count. That looked really good. Breaker clotheslines Ilya to the outside, to the floor. He tries to go for the run around the ring spear, but Ilya breaks it up. Ilya tried to go for the torpedo before that, and Breaker just literally throws his body at him and knees him in the face. It was just really well done. These two guys work very well with each other, but it's basically what's becoming the Braun Breaker special happens here as Breaker is on the outside fighting with Ilya. Ilya looks like he has the advantage. Once again, he's running at Breaker, and this time Breaker throws one of the commentary chairs at Ilya's head, causing a disqualification. Ilya's going out and still attacking Dragunov after this, which leads to Sami Zayn, who's tried to be stopped by agents and referee. He runs in to make the save, but Breaker on the outside posts him, throws him into the ring post. He then takes care of Dragunov as well. He throws both men over the announce table, and he stands on top, showing off his dominance against the Intercontinental Champion and the former NXT Champion. This was a very well done angle to put over Breaker some more, but 3 DQ finishes on TV in a row. God, could you just give him a victory? He could have beaten Sheamus. He could have beaten Ludwig Kaiser. I'm not really upset about this one. In a vacuum, I think it makes sense to keep Dragunov strong, especially if it seemed like after this angle, we might get a triple threat at SummerSlam instead of just Breaker and Sami rematch. Maybe they throw Dragunov in there to make it a triple threat. So I'm fine with the DQ in a vacuum. But when it's the 3rd DQ in a row for Breaker, that's a little much.
I understand where you're coming from. Me personally, I'm fine with it. I'm okay. I'm all right.
Of course, you are.
But this is now multiple times you've done Braun and Ilya, and it's great chemistry as they have, which is amazing. Don't run this matchup into the ground. I better not see it again. I can see the triple threat. That's fine. But stop running them out there now. Relax. You don't want it to be overdone.
Overcooked.
Because I know they're gonna have a rivalry for years. I know they are. But don't do it all at once. Slow down.
True.
That's all.
I agree with that there. Damian Priest is backstage. He has a nice little promo. Once again, they have background music. He says that, yes, he's a controversial champion, but just like everyone else is. He brings up Logan Paul. He's a controversial champion. He was like, what about her? And Io Sky shows up on the screen. He says she was a controversial champion. I was like, dude, not everyone else is a controversial champion. Literally, your counterpart on SmackDown, Cody Rhodes, is a non-controversial champion. And I had some dummy on Twitter because I tagged Priest and told him, I was like, Cody Rhodes is not a controversial champion at all. He doesn't have the cheap victories you do. And I tagged Priest in it, and I had someone be like, oh, Cody had help at WrestleMania. I was like, you mean the people that came out to stop the interference against him? I was like, people are so dumb. But Priest says he's looking forward to the matchup with Gunther at SummerSlam because it is a challenge to his greatness. And if Gunther wants to hear this face-to-face, come see him next week. We should bring up here that later in the show, we had Gunther with a follow-up. And I thought this was a great Gunther promo. Just him talking about how he came into this sport not because he grew up watching it, but because he loves to win. And he talks about his path of dominance throughout WWE coming in 2019. We get great glimpses of him as Walter in NXT UK and winning the NXT UK championship, and then becoming the greatest intercontinental champion of all time and longest reigning champion of all time. So this was a really well done vignette and promo by Gunther here. And we did get the confirmation that it will be Damian Priest defending the World Heavyweight Championship against the King of the Ring, Gunther, in 3 weeks' time at SummerSlam. And next week, it will be Gunther and Priest going face-to-face. Now that their match is official for SummerSlam, they will go face-to-face next week right here on Monday Night Raw. What did you think about both men's promo vignettes that they had here? Am I frozen? Or is Romeo frozen? Oh, it's Romeo. Okay. I was wondering because I was like, what's going on? Romeo is paused for a second here. You guys got to tell me. You guys got to be quicker on the ball here because I'm trying to charge my. Yes, Romeo was frozen. Romeo will be back shortly here, but like I said, I thought it was a good promo and vignette for Gunther. Damian Priest, I was like, yeah, you're lying, bro. You're lying. Not everyone is a controversial champion. Io Sky even got a couple of victories on her own. She didn't always need damage control to get the victory. It wasn't every single matchup, including non-title matches, that Damian Priest has not got a win on his own throughout this title run. So leave the cap. Just leave the cap a little bit off of that. Come on. We got a super chat donation from a boy, Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. He says, didn't want to show Roman cheating in his matches because he's a babyface now. Playing 3D chess, you know the deal. You know the deal, my good brother. You know the deal, You know the deal, Will. You know how it goes. Alex Powell saying the biggest worry for this matchup is that this match is not on the list of priorities when it comes to build for SummerSlam, as there's other matches that are going to get the better build. I think that on Monday Night Raw alone, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre feels bigger already going into SummerSlam, as well as Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. Both of those matches feel like the better builds already, better feuds going on than what's going on with Damian Priest and Gunther here. So we'll see how they follow it up. I really feel like these guys need a strong either opening segment next week or main event segment. If they put it in the middle of the show, it's just going to feel more of the same. Like Damian Priest's World Heavyweight Championship run at times have felt like a mid-card title run because they don't give him the beginning of the show or the end of the show, really, for a lot of the build for his matches on premium live events. We got Alex Powell says we need Jimmy's reaction for this promo. Get it on Thursday. AE Ramble. Check us out here. 1:05 p.m. Eastern time. But next up, we got Damian. See, Romeo's missing out on his favorite person in the world. Karrion Kross is here. Karrion Kross is talking about injuring Kofi Kingston last week, as it was revealed that Kofi has torn tendons in his arm, and he says that Kofi will not be playing the accordion this week. The legends of the old guard are holding back the new blood in this division. So the new will clear out the old, including John Cena. Yes, Xavier Woods beat Karrion Kross while Kofi Kingston couldn't. So maybe Woods can be the next big thing because the New Day is dead. Good promo once again from Karrion Kross here. I enjoy his promo work. I'm just not into him as wrestling. Him wrestling, he feels right now like and then the bell rings type of wrestler. I think that he's good. He's a good character worker. He's a good promo. But when the bell rings, I stop caring. You let me know if you're different, if you feel differently from me. Annika says when they gonna let Paulie talk, this group would probably be 10 times over in much less time. I agree. Paul Ellering should get more talking segments in this group. He is the best talker in the group. I think Karrion Kross is good, but I think Paul Ellering is better. Next up, we got trios action. Damage Control. Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane going up against Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, and Lyra Valkyria. I love Lyra coming out and shaking her booty with the party girls, doing her little pose and shaking her hips. You got some moves. I'll give it up, Lyra. Got some moves. We get a brawl to start with Sane missing a top rope dive at Carter. Kai and Chance come in with the latter wrist dragging her into the corner. Valkyria comes in with the leg sweep and a basement leg sweep for 2 before the villains are sent outside for a triple knockdown. We take a commercial break and we come back with Chance fighting out of a chin lock, and then the babyface start running wild. We get Carter breaking up a double suplex. Damage Control gets triple suplex down, which got the crowd a little bit more into this matchup. We get the keg stand hit on Kai, but Sane springboards in and drop kicks Chance into the cover to make the save. Carter gets posted. Sane hits a big dive to the floor. It built a nasty crash landing here. And then we get the over the moonsault by Io Sky on Kaden Carter for the 1-2-3. This match was better than I thought. We only saw about 5.5 minutes of it for a match that went 8.5 minutes, but that's kind of the theme of this episode of Monday Night Raw at this point. But post-match was the more interesting element of this, as you had Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and the returning Sonya Deville is here. They run in to beat down Damage Control, specifically Io Sky, with Stark telling her that she cost her everything and kicking her in the face. Deville lays her out with a nice reverse DDT as the other villains stand tall here. And I love shout outs to Ibu of Wrestle Purist, who called them the lesbian shield. I was like, oh dear God, that's going to stick.
And rightfully deleted that post after they getting canceled. Don't get canceled like him, folks. Don't do that.
I would never tweet that out, but that was great. Backstage, we did hear from Zoe, Shayna, and Sonya. They aren't happy with Damage Control and called that a warning shot. But in comes Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. They come in to mock them. I almost forgot. They are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions.
I'll never forget.
More importantly, back of all of this, while this promo was going on, we see Chad Gable, the Creeds, and Ivy Now having a discussion as maybe we'll finally see the payoff of them talking in back of promos like they have been doing for months now. Romeo is back with us. What did you think about this matchup here? And if you had any thoughts on the Priest and Gunther segments.
Yeah, power died. Sorry about that. This match, not much to say except for that one spot where was it Io that throws Kairi Sane over the top rope and Kairi gets her foot caught?
Yeah.
Let's eliminate that out of the playbook. Let's never do that again. That could have ended in disaster. Don't do that again, please. I like the new group that came out, whatever they're going to call them. I think they'll fit good all together. Obviously, give some foils for Alba and Isla as well. They desperately need something. And what else? Did you talk about anything else while I was gone?
Just the Karrion Kross promo about the New Day.
Well, folks, I like it. I'm sorry. I like the Karrion Kross. Sorry. I thought it was good. It was short, sweet, got to the point. Hey, he's not getting much, but whatever he's getting, at least he's doing something with it.
I said it to them. I'll say it to you. I feel like Karrion Kross is that, and then the bell rings type of guy.
All right. Well, the bell hasn't rang yet.
Yeah. When the bell, I said he's a good character worker, a good promo, and then the bell rings.
We'll see what it's leading up to. Hopefully, Big E, please, give me a moment.
This is now 2 feuds in a row for the New Day. You're saying this. You said this for the Imperium
I'll never
feud.
give up.
You're saying it for the Final Testament feud now. We got
because
Dion,
breaking up the New Day is a serious deal. If you're gonna do that, you better have a serious plan.
That is true. Dion Jenkins saying I saw somebody called them the stud line. I did see that as well. We also
No
we
comment.
also yeah, no comment. We got a super chat donation from our boy Will Chisholm once again. Thank you so much, Will. He says, I can't lie, Sonya looked badass with that coat. Sonya looked good. I was glad to see her back. I'm glad to see her back and active in the ring again.
Yes, agreed. Remember, she had something going with Chelsea Green that she got hurt. She had to leave. And Chelsea Green is doing all right these days by herself.
Yeah.
So, something new for Sonya to do, and I think it fits. I think it'll work out okay.
Chelsea, the second best re-signing of the Triple H era, right behind Nia Jax.
Chelsea, like, we're just getting started with Chelsea, too.
Mm-hmm. Big Man Dog saying Cross versus Cena is going to be like Angle versus Corbin. Oh, shit.
I don't know if that's part of the John Cena's 30 to 40 dates. I don't know. I don't know if that's part of it.
He did mention Cena in his promo.
Oh. Well, you know what he's trying to do. He's going into business for himself right there. Like, I want a John Cena match. He said he's going to work 30 or 40 dates. I can't get one. Nah, unfortunately, Crosby not gonna.
Hey, team him with the New Day. If Big E ain't coming back, they need a third. They need a third member.
Booty shaking Cena. He does it on Peacemaker. Why not?
Why not? Main event time. Women's World Champion Liv Morgan teaming up with the Judgment Day's Dominik Mysterio to versus the LWO Zelina Vega and Rey Mysterio. Vega and Morgan started things off with Vega hitting her in the face for a 2. Then Dom comes in to hammer on his deadbeat dad. This brings in the ladies to start fighting again as Vega hits a nice little head scissors on Dominik, but Morgan throws her into the corner. Back up, Vega knocks Morgan into the corner with Rey throwing Dominik into her in a very suggestive way. It looked like Dom was beating out Liv, and Liv was very happy with a big smile on her face.
Oh, so happy that she makes it her profile picture later on.
Morgan takes a bullet from the apron for Dominik, though, pushing him out the way, but Dominik gets taken down by his dad. Back from commercial break, we get Dominik working on Rey, hitting a nice little Michinoku driver to cut off the comeback. Rey manages to send Dominik to the outside, and in comes Zelina Vega. She comes in, she hits a middle rope Meteora and looks to set up the code red, but Morgan slips out of it. She grabs on and does the Three Amigos, doing a nice little seductive Eddie Guerrero dance. Rey comes in and sends Dom flying. He hits a big kick to the head and then a lion salt. Dominik tries the Three Amigos of his own, but he has to block a 619. But Vega hits a 619 to his ribs to cut him off. She hits the 619 on Morgan as well. But the finish comes when Morgan is able to distract the referee by throwing in a steel chair. This allows her to cut off Rey on the top rope. Dominik follows up with the frog splash and gets the 1-3, his first pinfall victory over his deadbeat dad, Rey Mysterio. This match going 12 and a half minutes. Some good action here. It was a nice little fun main event here that got the most time on the show, but the post-match is what everybody's talking about. Morgan immediately jumps into Dominik's arms, and he seems interested for the first time. They even have a forehead-to-forehead intimate moment. It looks like Dom is finally gonna go into the temptation and follow through with it, make out with Liv right in the ring. They're gonna have a live sex celebration until the music of Rhea Bloody Ripley hits.
This is my brutality.
And out comes the former WWE Women's World Champion. Liv Morgan is shocked. Dominik is scared shitless. Liv is like, all right, I'm going to get up the hell up out of here. She bails through the crowd, looks terrified because a shoulder injury was supposed to kill Ripley, I guess. That leaves Ripley to come into the ring. She is glaring at Dominik Mysterio, who has his head down. She puts his head up and says, look at me. Look at me. Dom tries to go in for the hug, but he gets cut off. At this point, the feed got cut off.
Yeah, I got cut off. Yeah.
But we did see the follow-up on social media as Dominik tries to talk to Rhea, tries to hug her, but she just walks away from him. He tries to give her the baby, please, talk backwards walk as she makes her way to the back. Great timing on this, as far as the Rhea Ripley return. Huge pop from the Ottawa crowd, like they should have. That was the loudest they were this entire night. This felt like a nice little cliffhanger ending to Monday Night Raw as Rhea Ripley is back. And what's going to happen with this now love triangle intact? It feels like the whole story got shifted into the second or third gear now. What did you think about the ending of the show? And of course, the main event, the mixed tag team matchup.
I thought the match was good for what it was, a mixed tag. And listen, Rhea Ripley, Dom never got to be his dad aligned with Rhea Ripley. One tag team match team with Liv Morgan, and he's able to beat his deadbeat dad. Like, wow. Liv Morgan has done so much more for Dom than Rhea ever has. Are you kidding me? That's why Dom was so smitten after that match. That's why he was like, oh, like, I can't believe what I just did. You helped me do it. Like, wow. So that alone would have been a great ending to Raw. But no. This is my brutality. Rhea comes out looking, oh my God, she still looks amazing. Jeez. Oh, yeah. And I guess she's good to go. Good to go for SummerSlam. And that adds another, Rhea Liv. That's got so much heat right now. Woof. They're on fire, man. They did a good job while Rhea was gone with this Liv Morgan character. And now Rhea comes back to this, and it's just two sparks. Boom. And you add Dom, and now we have the custody of Dominik match that we all deserve and want at SummerSlam. We hope. It's lining up good, man.
Yeah, Buddy pulled out. Unfortunately. Killer Chase said he didn't finish the job. But yeah,
fun stuff, man.
Yeah, this has been the best story, and Liv has been the star of the show, especially the last month on Monday Night Raw, and the story with her and Dom have been a good draw for WWE. It's a hot angle, and having Rhea Ripley, back is only going to make it hotter. I think that, like I said before, I think I either said it while you were gone or when the last you were here, the Liv Rhea story with Dominik, as well as Punk and McIntyre with Seth thrown in, feel a whole lot bigger than Gunther versus Damian Priest right now. They got to do a lot of work to put that on the same level as those two angles.
They do. It's not going to get there, unfortunately. But me personally, I'm still interested in Priest's, character development of just wanting to earn respect, be that guy that wins clean. And it's funny because Gunther is the same kind of guy, same kind of type A personality when it comes to that kind of stuff. So if you want to prove it, now you got the biggest test. Now you got to prove it against a guy who also wants to do it the same way.
So we got a super chat donation from Will Chisholm once again. Thank you so much, Will. He says Dom did look like Eddie when he would try to apologize to China. He did.
Eddie was so funny in that. So Dom's got a lot to live up to.
That was really the first storyline for Eddie in WWE, where he really got to show his personality, the Latino heat.
Yeah. And Dom's been, been killing it too. Dom. Well, now more's going to get asked out of him now, because now he's got to play both sides of the fence. We'll see how they play it. There's a lot of directions they can go.
Yeah,
I gotta think eventually it's leading to Dom and Liv. He chooses Liv.
Yeah, I think that's what happens at SummerSlam if they face for the Women's World Championship. You have Dom at ringside, and either Dom does it by accident or he chooses Liv.
That's the big question.
I think he should just choose Liv because they've done enough of him accidentally helping Liv.
Going hit like crack.
It is. We got another super chat donation here from Aubrey James, who says, "Remember, Dom is in an abusive relationship with Rhea." Good point. Rhea Ripley assaulted him to get him in the Judgment Day and become his mommy, whereas Liv Morgan has kind of really built up his masculinity and made sure that she's always making Dom feel like the man. He went from dirty to daddy to Liv.
Yeah, it's it's a little uncomfortable to talk about, but Dom was groomed by Rhea Ripley. Let's be honest. Oh man, I think we should wrap this show up after that.
On that note, all right, guys, final call for super chat donation. You guys have killed it today with the super chat donations.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate those. But last call for that. And let us know your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP. Out of 10, what did you give this show? Whether it was a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle for me and Romeo for the July 8th, 2024 edition of Monday Night Raw in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up for me.
I'm frozen.
Romeo,
I'm giving a thumbs up.
Yeah, there you go. I was like, you're frozen a bit. I think you're frozen again, but thumbs up across the board for both of us. Romeo, out of 10, what did you give the show?
7.8. I really enjoyed the show. A lot of the storytelling, very story heavy show. I like when Raw has a theme to the show, and yesterday's theme was definitely the title of this episode. Actions have consequences, which apply to a lot of the stories, not just Punk and Rollins, but also the main event and other stories throughout the show.
100% agree with you there. It had a nice theme. I would go 7.5 out of 10. I just needed like one of the matches to be above like a solid good level. If we had like a very good matchup, if we had a finish to Dragunov and Breaker, I think that this is like an 8 out of 10, maybe even 8.5 out of 10 because of the Rhea Ripley return type of show. But 7.5 seems about right for me. MVP for the show, I'm going to give it to Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley for the return and Liv Morgan because she's been a star the past month. She's really elevated herself in the absence of Rhea Ripley.
I'll give it to Seth Rollins for cooking on the mic and Rhea Ripley for her grand return.
LVP for the show, who you got, Romeo?
I'm gonna go with Adam Pearce. I just think he's just having a rough go. Like his 3-hour shifts on Mondays are like 8-hour shifts for the rest of us. He's got so much on his plate. It's terrible. And the other guys got it easy on Friday. Nobody bothers him.
I agree. I think. Well, no, he got to deal with the bloodline. He got to deal with the bloodline and their nonsense. But I mean, Adam Pearce got a lot on his plate, and he hasn't been handling it well. The whole Drew McIntyre shit. I'm on Drew's side with Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce is too hard on Drew and not hard enough on Punk because of their old friendship. He's showing favoritism. So I agree with you. Adam Pearce, LVP. Match of the night, I'm going to say the mixed tag team main event.
Sure. I could say that. I could say Dragunov Braun, but this is kind of like, kind of even to me, but whatever. I'll go Dragunov Braun. But yeah, the main event was cool.
All right, that brings us to a close on another edition of Rated Raw Review. So glad to have Romeo back with me. Romeo, let everybody know where they can follow you on social media, when they'll see you again as well.
Romeo Damas on all social media. Check out my YouTube channel of the same name for a reaction and reviews. I appreciate being back here, Rated Raw Review. Hopefully I'm back again next week. I don't know yet for sure, but we'll let you know in due time. Thank you, SP3. Thank you, everyone in the chat for the super chats. Really appreciate y'all.
I will be back here next week because we want to keep the streak going. We've been having a good time with these Rated Raw reviews, even with the guest stars. Thank you to JPJ, Robert, Chase over the last couple of weeks filling in for Romeo. And you can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat, $3 a month gets you exclusive content as well as the best place to support us when we are not live here. I will be back tomorrow at 1:05 p.m. Eastern time, so join us for that as we'll be doing a preview, a very special preview of Marigold's Summer Destiny as well as Pro Wrestling Noah's Destination as WWE will be crossing over to Japan this Saturday with Io Sky going one-on-one. We get Tommy Hayashita on Marigold. You got AJ Styles versus Naramichi Marufuji for Noah. And I'll be joined by one of the most knowledgeable and expert people when it comes to Japanese pro wrestling out there. Scott E. Wrestling will be joining me to break down both cards and help me pronounce all the names because y'all know I usually botch those. So he's here to help. So join us for that. Keep sending those super chat donations because they help us out so much, helps the channel grow, and helps out the contributors that you see on screen with us. So hope to see y'all all there and check out all the great content we got on the channel, like our Money in the Bank review. Check out True Heel Heat 284 from last weekend. One of our great episodes. We broke down a lot of stuff and answered the question of who is AEW's top heel after MJF's heel turn, Hangman's return, and Mercedes Moné becoming the full heel that she was always meant to be. So check that out right now as well. And especially check out BTR, True Heel's BTR Between the Ropes with Donovan Dijak. But for Romeo, it is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. This has been Rated Raw Review number 25. Actions have consequences. We are signing off until next time.